Hello everyone. I'm going to talk about the thing I'm pretty good at is talking about music. Not just sounds and lyric, but the soul inside the sound. And today I want to talk about a band that didn't just play music, they became a feeling. The band is Joy Division. Joy Division wasn't like other bands. They didn't chase fame. They didn't make radio hits. They make something far more powerful. The atmospheres. They capture a mood. They distill loneliness, anxiety, and existential threats into sound waves. And somehow they make it beautiful, hauntingly beautiful. The band formed in the late 1970s in Manchester, England, a post-industrial city filled with gray skies, unemployment, and a generation wondering what was next. Out of the backdrop came four young men: Bernard Sumner on guitar, Peter Hook on bass, and uh, Stephen Morris on drums, and Ian Curtis on vocals and lyrics. Curtis was the soul of Joy Division. His lyrics weren't poetic in a flowery way. They were raw, almost painfully, and he wrote about loss, alienation, control, fear, not as an abstract ideal, but as lived experience. Songs like "She's Lost Control" weren't wasn't metaphors; they were autobiographical. He literally watched someone lose control due to epilepsy, and he was to also have epileptic too, battling with seizures in silence. In musically, Joy Division stripped things down. Hook bass didn't just follow the guitar, it led the song. Morris' drumming wasn't robotic but hypnotic, like the ticking of a clock in a quiet room. Sumner's guitar was sharp, cold, and minimal, and over it all is Ian Curtis' deep, detached voice, like a man reading ob- his all obituary. They released only two studio albums, Unknown Pleasures in 1979 and Closer in 1980, but these were enough to change everything. Unknown Pleasures sounds like it was recorded in a haunted subway station. It's fast, echoing, dark, but it's also strangely addictive. It pulls you in, it doesn't beg for your attention, it demands for your silence. Then there's Closer, an even darker, more more harrowing journey. It feels like a funeral in slow motion. And and tragically, that's what it became. Just before the band's first American tour, Ian Curtis took his own life at 23. He left behind a wife, a daughter, and a voice that will echo forever. But here's the thing: Joy Division's story doesn't end in tragedy, it also became a legacy. The remaining members from New Order blending joy blending their Joy Division mood with electronic beats and helping define the sound of the 1980s. Joy Division opened the door for post-punk, gothic rock, and countless bands that came after, from The Cure to Interpol to Nine Inch Nails. So why do I talk about Joy Divisions? Because they remind us that music isn't just entertainment, It is the expression, it is the therapy. It's true in a world full of noise, they choose silence. In the world chasing pop highs, they embrace the emotional lows. They made art out and they made art out of it. Joy Division didn't last long, but like a flash of lightning in a storm, their impact were brief and unforgettable. Thank you for listening to my presentation.